Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike at Filmboy24, and today it's time for round number 35 of my found film escapades. It's good to get back on the found film train, and we're going to see what we got with this sound film next. Before I get started with this, I just want to say, thank you so much to everybody that's made this very, let me do it like my kids do it, very tiny little film niche channel. Push it over the 2,000 subscriber mark. I don't advertise. I don't do any of the crazy things that a lot of big fancy YouTubers do these days with, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all that. I just have fun making YouTube videos and sort of dealing with film and having fun with film. So anyway, thank you everybody for subscribing. It means the world to me. It helps me sort of stay motivated and keep going because sometimes you sort of lose a little. So enough about that. If you're new to my channel, what is found film? Well, to me, found film is sort of any old movie film that I source from a myriad of ways and places. This particular little batch of film, this is what we sort of deemed it the Cameraman Mike sound film box set. What it is last year sometime, or I don't remember exactly when, but I bought about 56 rolls. I think it was 56 in total. I made two separate purchases. First, I just bought one or two rolls. Then I came back and bought the rest of what he had at a really, really discounted rate. Great guy. His name on eBay is Cameraman Mike. That's why we call it the Cameraman Mike sound film box set. Anyway, there was 56 rolls of mostly sound film in this batch. There's a couple rolls of silent film. There's some Kodachrome sound. Anyway, we're going one at a time and we're working our way through the entire batch. I don't know exactly what roll. I probably should have looked it up, but I don't know what roll number this is inside that whole box set. I'm thinking it's like 13 or 14. I do have a playlist, an entire playlist for all of my found film, the 35 so far. I'll put a link to that little playlist up here somewhere. If you're interested in more specifically this particular batch of film, it was all in the same batch, so presumably the same family. We've sort of pinned down a little bit about this family. We know there's a Michael and a Joey, and this film might give you a little more info or a little more insight. There's another name, I think it's Sam. What I started doing, but anyway, if you're interested in this particular lot of film and seeing the results from this one batch, I'll put a link to that playlist up here as well. That's the particular playlist for this. Pretty sure that most of this was shot somewhere in and around Arcadia, California. And what I've done is some of it came without a box. It was just quite literally like this, just a cartridge of film. And a lot of it came in boxes like this. Now, all of it is fully exposed. So what I did first is I went ahead and processed all of the stuff that wasn't in boxes. Now, presuming, big word for me, presuming that all of the film was in the correct boxes, because clearly it's all open, it has to be if it was already exposed. Assuming that whoever shot the film or got the film or auctioned the film or whatever they did, put it back in the original box that that particular roll of cartridge originally came from. What we're going to do now is go in order. We're going to start with oldest expiration date to newest. And it goes from what I have here. This roll of film expired in April of 1978. I can tell you, because I've already processed it, there's an edge code, and the edge code is a circle that corresponds, according to Kodak's website, to this roll of film being manufactured in 1976. That's 46 years ago. I'll tell you that the film didn't come out that great. There's a lot of, well, I guess it's called reticulation. There's a lot of desert cracks in the emulsion. There's a lot of splitting and cracking of the emulsion. It's not held up well over the years. But if you think about it, think about what you were doing 46 years ago when this roll of film was coming off the hot press over at Kodak in Rochester, New York, probably where it was made. What were you doing 46 years ago? I kind of know what I was doing, even though it was only about this tall. So keep that in mind when you watch the film. It's really, really, really old, probably poorly stored for the last 46 years. Well, at least 45 years. It's fairly decently stored now. I developed it the way I always develop this kind of film. This is the older stuff. This is the older Ektachrome 160, not the newer Ektachrome 160 that had the EM26 process. This is the old EM24 stuff. This required a pre-hardener for the emulsion because the emulsion's really soft, so you had to pre-harden the emulsion and then put it through its process. Well, I don't do that. What I do is I just process it in my standard, which is HC110B black and white chemicals at 67-ish and a half degrees Fahrenheit for 7 minutes. I just literally wash it with some cold water for a couple of minutes after that, and then I fix it for about 7 minutes after that, and rinse it off and hang it to dry, and that's what we got. This is sound film, which most of the audio has been coming out pretty well. And what I've been doing lately, at least the last few months since I've gotten it, is I've been extracting the audio using my Shin-On Super 8 sound projector, magnetic sound projector, and my new RetroSync sound module. I'm probably going to do a video on that sound module one of these days. It's made syncing sound to film, this old stuff, it's made it so much easier. My scanner, I use a Movie Stuff RetroScan Universal Mark I. I have the Mark II on order. It doesn't actually extract the audio from the film. I have to do that manually and then marry them together in post. And that's what I do. So keep all of that in mind. If you're a regular to my channel, you're going to want to skip this part because this is where I'm going to show you a very quick montage of how I process this film. I do use photo flow at the end now and not dish soap. I do put it in this Lomo tank right here. This is a UPB-1A with my custom-made doily to help me sort of insurance policy to keep the light out. It'll process up to 2 50-foot links at a time. And I do that most often, process 2 at a time. So here's that little montage and I'll be right back. And that's how it's done. The last thing I'll say really quick before we get to the film is I know I haven't been posting as much as I used to. Earlier in the year and all of last year I was doing most of the time 2 videos a week, but without doubt at least 1. And I know I've been sort of really lax lately on posting videos. And I'll tell you, I've had a lot of family stuff going on. It's summertime right here in Central Florida. It's extremely hot. It's hard to get outside and film. I also have 2 children. I work from home, so I keep them. They're out of school, so that's tough. And I've been super busy with customer work as well. I processed 12 rolls of this stuff, sound film, for a customer in the last 3 days. Probably in the last 3 days, I think I processed about 20 rolls of movie film for customers, and I did a lot of scanning and whatnot. So it has been kind of busy. I spooled down 5 rolls of 400-foot 16mm for a customer. So it's been busy, and I'm sorry, but I just haven't been able to get videos out the way I want to. I do have a lot in the pipeline. I have a folder full of stuff that I want to do, and I'm working on it. As soon as the kids get back in school and it sort of cools off a little bit, we're all well on our way back on the YouTube train. Anyway, without too much more gibbity-gabbity, let's see what we got next. Here's the film.
No flash drive, all right? No flash drive.
Wait for a
Water
minute.
shortage, enough coolers is water. Sure. Over here, everybody, quick! Boy, good.
Ryan! Give up, Joe.
You're one of my star swimmers. Okay, Lisa.
Very good, Joy. Oh,
Come on, Joe.
I'm not the same color.
Let's see that.
Alec. There you go. Very good, Daniel. Larry, awesome. Great job. Where's
Say
Heather?
something, Joy.
Looking down the pool that way, or looking over at the wall that way, all right? Don't look forward. Look forward. Face down. Like that, see? Roll your head, but down. Face under more. Tilt it under. Turn it. Under. Turn it. Okay. Should I just take a piece of wood and tie it back there? So then we can't bend it? Keep it straight, all right? Can I borrow your nose? My pocket here. I'll let you bring it back to me. Hold on here. Got it. Come down. Stretch your arms out. Stretch your whole body. Now turn your head. Now down and below. Turn your head. Down and below. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. What side do we breathe on? Don't we breathe on the right? Well, what are you breathing on the other side for? Just trying to confuse me? No, I'm not that smart. Give me a break, all right? Oh, no, you turn it earlier. Turn it. Down and below. Turn. Down and below. Turn. Down and below. Okay, Joey, remember, the minute that hand pulls off the board, you gotta turn your head, right? Where's that hand? Where's that, pull your arm around. Down and blow bubbles. Two breaths sooner. Turn. Down and blow. Pull your arm around. Down and blow. Oh, good. Arm around. Down and blow bubbles. Pull your arm around. Down and blow bubbles. Pull your arm around. Down and blow bubbles. Down and boy. Good. Bubbles. Pull your arm around. Turn your head. Down. Breathe. Now breathe. And 1, 2, 3. 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 And hold it. Okay, now place your hand in the water there, Joey. Place your hand in the water. Don't swat the water. Place it in gently. Keep your kick up. 1, 2, 3. Now breathe. 1, 2, 3. Now breathe. 1, 2, 3, and breathe.
Sam?
Well, if you've seen anything from my Cameraman Mike box set before, you have definitely seen little Joey in the swimming pool. Now, that is Arcadia, California, as far as I know. And again, we kind of pinned down that that's a swim school. I don't think that's Joey's father. That's actually a swim school. Now, I left the very beginning of the film and the very end of the film in there where there's no image, but there's a little bit of audio. Usually I get that on these. You get sort of blank at the end, and the audio is ahead of the film a little bit. So I left that in because you could hear at the very end of the film, somebody says Sam. Now, I don't know who Sam is, if it's the gentleman that's sitting with the lady there at the end of the film. Don't know who it is, but it's literally just another name. I'm hoping that one day we're able to maybe locate Joey or Michael or somebody affiliated with this film. Somebody's still around, I know they are, and I have 56 rolls of their film. So it would be kind of neat to let them see it. If you recognize anybody in that film, or if you're a sleuth, like I think it's pronounced Corolla, quite the sleuth. So if you're interested in sort of doing some digging, look back on some of the old films from Cameraman Mike and start trying to piece them together and send people over to the video. Really? Send some people over to check it out, and let's see if we can get these films back in the right hands. That'd be, well, not right hand. Well, I guess to you that's left, and the image is, okay, anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that little video. I got a lot more found film. I still have about 100 rolls of found film laying around. So keep an eye out. A lot of that's coming. I try to put one up every week. And like I said earlier, I'm doing my best. At the very least, on the way out, would you do me a super solid? And yeah, that's it. Just tap the like button. You know, I like every video I ever watch on Facebook, whether I like it or not, because it reminds me when I go back to it that I've already watched it. I got some thinking power. And if you want, if you think I've earned it, you know, maybe subscribe. I got a lot in the pipeline, like I say, and I'm doing my best to get them out as quick as I can. But quality over quantity. And until the very next time that I see all of your beautiful faces, they're all beautiful, I promise you. Except for this one. There it is. Yep. I'll see all of you on the very next go-around.